In World War II, the United States didn't just fight battles, it dominated the oceans. From massive battleships to deadly aircraft carriers, these war machines changed the course of history. Today, we're counting down 10 of the most powerful U.S. warships of World War II, ships that ruled the seas and crushed their enemies. Let's begin. USS Iowa. When people talk about raw power at sea during World War II, one name rises above the rest: the USS Iowa. This wasn't just a battleship, it was a symbol of American industrial might and technological superiority at its peak. Commissioned in 1943 as the lead ship of the Iowa class, the USS Iowa was designed with one clear mission: to dominate the oceans. Stretching approximately 270 meters in length and displacing over 57,000 tons when fully loaded, this giant of the sea combined size, speed, and firepower in a way no battleship before it had ever achieved. Powered by advanced steam turbines generating more than 200,000 shaft horsepower, the Iowa could reach speeds of up to 33 knots, making it one of the fastest battleships in history, fast enough to escort the Navy's most important assets, aircraft carriers. But what truly made the USS Iowa feared was its devastating firepower. It carried 9 massive 16-inch 50-caliber Mark 7 guns mounted in 3 turrets, each capable of launching shells weighing up to 1,225 kilograms over distances exceeding 30 kilometers. A single broadside from the Iowa could unleash destruction equivalent to a small-scale bombardment, capable of obliterating enemy fortifications, ships, and coastal defenses in seconds. In addition to its main guns, the ship was heavily armed with 25-inch dual-purpose guns and dozens of anti-aircraft weapons, including 40mm Bofors and 20mm Ehrlichen cannons, creating a deadly defensive shield against enemy aircraft. Yet the Iowa was not just about brute force, it was also a masterpiece of engineering precision. Its advanced fire control systems, including radar-guided targeting, allowed it to accurately track and engage targets even at night or in poor weather conditions, a huge advantage in modern naval warfare. Its armor was equally impressive, with a thick belt of up to 307mm designed to withstand enemy shells and protect critical areas of the ship. This balance of speed, protection, and firepower made the USS Iowa one of the most complete warships ever built. During World War II, the USS Iowa played a vital role in the Pacific theater. It escorted fast carrier task forces, shielding them from potential surface and aerial threats, and provided powerful naval gunfire support during major operations against Japanese-held islands. Its presence alone was often enough to deter enemy action, as few ships could match its capabilities. But beyond its missions and technical specifications, the USS Iowa represented something greater: a shift in naval warfare, where speed, coordination, and overwhelming force defined victory. USS Missouri. When it comes to legendary warships of World War II, few names carry as much historical weight as the USS Missouri. Known as the Mighty Mo, this battleship was not only a symbol of overwhelming firepower, but also the very stage where one of the most important moments in modern history took place: the official surrender of Japan in 1945. Commissioned in 1944 as the last battleship ever built by the United States, the USS Missouri represented the peak of battleship design and engineering. Measuring approximately 270 meters in length and displacing over 58,000 tons at full load, it was a floating fortress built for both power and endurance. Like its sister ships in the Iowa class, Missouri was powered by steam turbines, producing more than 200,000 shaft horsepower, allowing it to reach speeds of up to 33 knots, an incredible achievement for a ship of its size. At the heart of the USS Missouri's strength was its devastating arsenal. It carried 9 16-inch 50-caliber guns capable of firing armor-piercing shells weighing over 1,200 kilograms across distances exceeding 30 kilometers. Each salvo could level enemy defenses or destroy opposing warships with terrifying efficiency. In addition to its main guns, the ship was heavily armed with 25-inch dual-purpose guns and dozens of anti-aircraft weapons, including 40mm Bofors and 20mm Ehrlichen cannons, creating a deadly defensive shield against enemy aircraft. Yet the USS Missouri was not just about brute force, it was also a masterpiece of engineering precision. Its advanced fire control systems, including radar-guided targeting, allowed it to accurately track and engage targets even at night or in poor weather conditions, a huge advantage in modern naval warfare. Its armor was equally impressive, with a thick belt of up to 307 millimeters designed to withstand enemy shells and protect critical areas of the ship. This balance of speed, protection, and firepower made the USS Missouri one of the most complete warships ever built. During World War II, the USS Missouri played a vital role in the Pacific theater. It escorted fast carrier task forces, shielding them from potential surface and aerial threats, and provided powerful naval gunfire support during major operations against Japanese-held islands. Its presence alone was often enough to deter enemy action, as few ships could match its capabilities. But beyond its missions and technical specifications, the USS Iowa represented something greater, a shift in naval warfare, where speed, coordination, and overwhelming force defined victory. If there was one ship that truly earned the title of a legend during World War II, it was the USS Enterprise, famously known as the Big E. Unlike the massive battleships built for raw firepower, the Enterprise represented a new kind of dominance at sea: air power. Commissioned in 1938, before the United States even entered the war, this Yorktown-class aircraft carrier would go on to become the most decorated U.S. warship of World War II. Measuring about 251 meters in length and displacing over 32,000 tons when fully loaded, the Enterprise was not the largest carrier of its time, but what it lacked in size, it made up for in impact. Powered by steam turbines generating around 120,000 shaft horsepower, it could reach speeds of up to 32.5 knots, making it one of the fastest carriers in history, fast enough to escort the Navy's most important assets, aircraft carriers. But what truly made the Enterprise feared was its air wing. Its aircraft could locate, attack, and destroy enemy fleets long before they came into visual range. Equipped with a combination of fighters, dive bombers, and torpedo planes, the Enterprise was designed for both offense and defense. It also carried anti-aircraft guns, including 5-inch dual-purpose cannons and lighter weapons like 1.1-inch mounts and later 40mm Bofors, creating a deadly defensive shield against enemy aircraft. Yet what truly made the Enterprise legendary was not just its design, it was its survival. Time and time again, the ship found itself in the heart of the most dangerous battles in the Pacific. It fought at Pearl Harbor, surviving the surprise attack that brought the United States into the war. It played a critical role in the Battle of Midway, one of the most important turning points of the entire conflict, where American forces dealt a decisive blow to the Japanese fleet. It continued to fight in Guadalcanal, the Eastern Solomons, and the Philippine Sea, battles that would define the outcome of the war in the Pacific. Throughout these engagements, the Enterprise was repeatedly damaged. Bombs struck its deck, fires broke out, and enemy aircraft targeted it relentlessly. At times, it was one of the last operational carriers left in the Pacific, and yet each time it was hit, it returned, repaired, rearmed, and ready to fight again. This cycle of destruction and survival earned it a reputation unlike any other, a ghost that refused to sink. In the story of World War II, few ships represent courage under fire quite like the USS Yorktown. Commissioned in 1937 as a Yorktown-class aircraft carrier, it was one of the early pillars of American naval aviation, a new type of warship that would soon redefine warfare at sea. Measuring about 246 meters in length and displacing over 25,000 tons when fully loaded, the Yorktown was powered by steam turbines, producing around 120,000 shaft horsepower, allowing it to reach speeds of up to 32.5 knots. Like other carriers of its class, it could carry around 90 aircraft, turning it into a mobile strike platform capable of projecting power far beyond the horizon. Instead of relying on guns alone, the Yorktown projected power through its air wing, striking enemy fleets, bases, and supply lines from hundreds of kilometers away. Its defensive armament included multiple anti-aircraft guns, such as 5-inch dual-purpose cannons and lighter weapons like 1.1-inch mounts and later 40mm Bofors, creating a deadly defensive shield against enemy aircraft. But the true test of the USS Yorktown came in 1942 during one of the most critical moments of the war, the Battle of Midway. Just weeks before the battle, the Yorktown had been heavily damaged in the Battle of the Coral Sea. Many believed it would take months to repair. Instead, in an extraordinary effort, American crews worked around the clock and managed to restore it to operational status in just 72 hours. It was a desperate gamble, sending a partially repaired carrier back into one of the most important battles of the war. At Midway, the Yorktown played a decisive role. Its aircraft joined the attack that ultimately led to the destruction of multiple Japanese carriers, shifting the balance of power in the Pacific. However, the Yorktown itself became a target. USS South Dakota. If the USS Arizona represents sacrifice, then the USS South Dakota represents survival under fire. Commissioned in 1942 as the lead ship of the South Dakota-class battleships, it was built with one goal in mind: to endure the most intense combat conditions and still come out fighting. Measuring approximately 207 meters in length and displacing over 44,500 tons when fully loaded, the USS South Dakota was powered by steam turbines, generating around 130,000 shaft horsepower, allowing it to reach speeds of up to 27 knots. It was smaller than the Iowa class, but more compactly armored, making it incredibly tough and difficult to disable. Armed with 9 16-inch guns in 3 triple turrets, the South Dakota had the firepower to go head-to-head with any enemy battleship. Its secondary battery included 5-inch dual-purpose guns supported by a growing array of anti-aircraft weapons, such as 40mm Bofors and 20mm Oerlikon cannons. But what truly set the South Dakota apart was its armor protection. Designed with a heavily reinforced belt and deck, it could absorb punishment that would cripple other ships. The ship earned the nickname Battleship X early in the war, as the U.S. Navy attempted to keep its identity secret. But secrecy wouldn't last long, because the South Dakota would soon make its presence known in one of the most brutal naval engagements of the Pacific War, the Naval Battle of Guadalcanal in 1942. During the chaos of night combat, the South Dakota found itself in a dangerous position. A temporary electrical failure knocked out parts of its radar and communication systems, leaving it exposed in the darkness. Almost immediately, it became the focus of intense enemy fire. Shells rained down from multiple Japanese ships, striking the battleship repeatedly. In a short period of time, the South Dakota was hit dozens of times, its superstructure heavily damaged and fires breaking out across the deck. And yet, it did not sink. Despite the damage, its armored core held strong. Critical systems remained intact, and the ship continued to operate under extreme conditions. While it struggled under fire, its sister ship, USS Washington, was able to engage and destroy a Japanese battleship, turning the tide of the battle. USS Lexington. Before aircraft carriers became the dominant force at sea, there was the USS Lexington, a ship that helped define what naval aviation could achieve. Commissioned in 1927, the Lexington was one of the earliest large aircraft carriers in the United States Navy, originally designed as a battle cruiser before being converted under treaty limitations. Measuring approximately 270 meters in length and displacing over 43,000 tons when fully loaded, it was powered by turbo-electric engines generating around 180,000 shaft horsepower, allowing it to reach speeds of up to 33 knots, an impressive feat for its time. Nicknamed Lady Lex, the USS Lexington could carry around 90 aircraft, forming a powerful air wing capable of striking targets far beyond the reach of traditional naval guns. It was equipped with a combination of fighters, dive bombers, and torpedo planes, as well as defensive armament, including 5-inch guns and anti-aircraft weapons. But like all early carriers, it was still part of an evolving strategy, one that would soon be tested in real combat. That test came in 1942, during the Battle of the Coral Sea, the first naval battle in history where opposing ships never directly saw each other. Instead, aircraft launched from carriers fought the battle from hundreds of kilometers away. It was a completely new kind of warfare, and the USS Lexington was at the center of it. During the battle, Lexington's aircraft successfully struck Japanese forces, contributing to the sinking of the carrier Shoho. But the fight was far from over. Japanese aircraft soon located the Lexington and launched a counterattack. Bombs and torpedoes struck the carrier, causing significant damage. Fires broke out, but at first, damage control teams managed to contain the situation. Then, disaster struck again. Internal explosions, likely caused by fuel vapor ignition, ripped through the ship, spreading uncontrollable fires. Despite the crew's desperate efforts, it became clear that the USS Lexington could not be saved. USS Essex. As World War II progressed, the United States needed more than just powerful ships. It needed numbers, efficiency, and dominance on a massive scale.
That need gave rise to the Essex-class carriers, and at the forefront of this new generation was the USS Essex. Commissioned in 1922, the Essex represented the evolution of carrier design, incorporating lessons learned from early battles in the Pacific. Measuring approximately 265 meters in length and displacing over 36,000 tons when fully loaded, it was powered by steam turbines, generating around 150,000 shaft horsepower, allowing it to reach speeds of up to 33 knots. But what truly made the USS Essex a game-changer was its air power. It could carry over 90 to 100 aircraft, including some of the most advanced planes of the war. Its design allowed for faster aircraft operations, better protection, and greater efficiency in launching and recovering planes. Combined with improved anti-aircraft defenses, including 5-inch guns, 40mm Bofors, and 20mm Oerlikon cannons, the Essex was built not just to attack, but to survive in increasingly dangerous combat environments. Unlike earlier carriers that operated in smaller numbers, the USS Essex was part of a much larger strategy. It served as the backbone of the U.S. Navy's fast carrier task forces, working alongside multiple carriers to launch massive, coordinated airstrikes. These operations overwhelmed enemy defenses and established total air superiority over the Pacific skies. Throughout the war, the USS Essex participated in numerous operations, striking Japanese bases, supporting amphibious landings, and engaging enemy fleets. Its aircraft attacked airfields, ships, and supply lines, gradually weakening Japan's ability to continue the war. It was not just one ship, it was part of a system that brought overwhelming force wherever it went. By the end of World War II, Essex-class carriers had become the dominant force in the Pacific. They didn't just win battles, they ensured control of the oceans. The USS Essex stands as a symbol of that transformation, a ship that didn't just fight in the war, but helped bring it to an end.